Welcome back to day 12 of the Australian Open 2020. Tomorrow is the big one on the women's side of the draw. Obviously, the singles final tomorrow morning for me in the UK. I can't wait for the match between Sofia Kenin and Garbina Muguruza. Obviously, Kenin's came on the scene over the last couple of years. She's only still 21-year-old American. She's had a very good record in WTA tournaments over the past 18 months, but hasn't quite made a run of his significance in a Grand Slam yet, but she still deserves a place in this final. She's had quite a tough run, I think, throughout, beating Coco Gauff in round 4. Beating Anjabir, the Tunisian was playing some outstanding tennis, very confident, and that was a real toss-up for me in that quarter-final. I fancied whoever got through that quarter-final would be to reach the final of this side of this quarter, and that was Kenin. She wore Jabeur down, really forced her into many errors, works extremely hard around the court, very solid play, and doesn't make many errors, does Kenin, and that was enough to get past Jabeur in straight sets. Then she did run into the world number one in the semi-final, Ashley Barty. Obviously the home Aussie was a massive favourite going into the tournament, became even a bigger favourite when Osaka and Serena Williams dropped out the draw, and she didn't play outstanding tennis, Barty, I don't think, all the way through the tournament, but in the semi-final both players delivered. They both served very well, both all-round games very good. They were patient in return games, but both didn't face many break points. In the first set went to a tie-break, and I always felt that the tie-break in that first set was going to decide the winner. Kenin, as she's shown throughout her career, she's got an outstanding attitude. She's mentally very, very strong. Whether she's behind in a match or in front, she's a great front runner, but she's also very good at coming from behind, from behind in sets, or becoming behind in matches. Even if she's set down, you've still got her back. Kenin to fight back. She really is a great competitor, and for her age, she's when you watch her on court in these sort of matches, you would think that she's a seasoned pro, but she's a 21-year-old making her first big run at a Grand Slam. But she's she beat the world number one when she was massively up against it in terms of the crowd, and so obviously, Barty's been there and done it. She's won a Grand Slam title before, and she was supremely confident going into that one, obviously facing Kenin, but Kenin pulled it out the hat, and has progressed to the final very deservedly. Her opponent, Garbina Muguruza, is definitely been the player of the tournament for me. Most entertaining to watch, and had the best wins. Obviously, she came to this tournament unseeded after a couple of tough years on court. She hadn't made any major runs at Grand Slams after them Grand Slam title wins. She was predicted to become the world number one and really dominate women's games for a long time, but didn't really prove to be the case. Last week she came through matches against Svitolina, Kiki Bertens, Pavlyuchenkova and Simona Halep without even dropping a set. I think it just shows you how well Muguruza is playing this week. I mean, Svitolina is an excellent hardcore player, ranked top 5 in the world. She was playing very well in the opening week, Svitolina, before running into a relentless and unstoppable Muguruza. Kiki Bertens is a very good defensive player, particularly on a slow hard court. She blew her away as well. Pavlyuchenkova was the winning machine, knocking out Pliskova. She was hitting 60-70 winners in a 3-set match, which is quite remarkable, but it didn't faze Muguruza. I think Muguruza knows if he fights fire with fire, and as long as she hits the ball cleanly and serves well on the day, then I think she fancies herself to be any women's player in the world. Then up against Simona Halep, which was one of the classic women's matches in history. I said it at the time, I think it was the best set of women's tennis I've ever seen, that first set of the semi-final. Thankfully for Muguruza, she was the one that came out on top. And then at the back end of that set, when they were both physically failing it after a grueling two hour match, I mean, there was so many long rallies, so many physical points in that match that it was understandable that they were both failing it towards the back end of that second set. But it's 6-5 up. Halep got a little bit tight on serve. Muguruza just went for it. She returned brilliantly with the double-handed backhand all day. It was probably the shot of the match, and she took the advantage of, as I say, Halep's last game, and closed it out 7-5. I think Halep probably did deserve a set. She didn't deserve a straight sets defeat, but Muguruza took her chances and Halep didn't in that one, and they both played an exceptional match. It arguably deserved to be a final in itself, but that was the way the draw worked out. when you get these unseeded players like Muguruza, you've always got the potential of having classic semi-finals. And that proved to be the case. So now they're meeting the final. Looking at both players statistically and tactically, what do they have to do? I think Muguruza, it's very simple. To go out with plan A, time the ball and be aggressive from ball one. Look for your lines. Serve well as she has been all tournament, and just be aggressive. I know it's a final. The pressure will probably be on. But you can't be tempted if she can't wait for errors of Kenin's side, because she doesn't make many at all. I think Muguruza's got to go for a shot. I mean, she's beat two of the best defensive players in the world, Halep and Burton's, on court that certainly don't suit Muguruza. So she's got no reason to be fighting the Kenin. I mean, if anyone's going to force errors out of your game, it'll be Halep. She makes you get that many balls back in court and pay that many extra shots. But Muguruza, she never really made any errors. Everything that Halep asked of her, she done. Whether it was it to the net or hitting Halep side to side, she just wore her down in the end. Serve was exceptional. She served around 9 or 10 aces that match. And Halep, although Halep did get looks in Muguruza's game, that's because her returns that good and her defence is that good. But I don't think Kenin's on the same level as Halep. But she's got to the final. Kenin beats some top opponents, so you can't knock her. She deserves to be where she is, and she's got every chance of winning the final tomorrow morning. From Kenin's point of view, I think it's the same for everybody. Do what got you here. I don't think there's not much of this match tomorrow in terms of well, there's going to be no plan Bs. I don't feel it's going to be whose plan A works best. I think Kenin's just a great all-round player. She's not the most entertaining to watch, as I've said throughout the tournament. She doesn't hit really a real amount of clean winners, but that's not all tennis is about. It's about mental attitude, being patient, staying in the points, and plenty of strength. And I feel like Kenin does that very, very well. She gets around the court so quickly. She's efficient. She's very fit. She's good at the net. She's a rallier. Good on forehand and backhand. Solid enough serve. She's got an all-round very, very solid game that'll take her far in any tournament. And if Muguruza does have an off day, she couldn't play a worse player than Kenin, because she's playing so well with so much confidence. In terms of prediction, I do think Muguruza wins. I do think it'll be in straight sets. I do think she comes in this tournament playing. She's so ruthless and so relentless. She's gained massive confidence boost and wins with the opponent she's beat, and you just can't bet against her. I mean, she's out-hit the best players and the best defenders in the world. She's beat a mix of different opponents, stylistically and tactically. In that form's enough for me to tip her to win this one. As I say, I think Kenin's had an outstanding tournament. I think she's got a fantastic future in the game. And if she produces the same defensive work and same solidarity in her mind and in a game, then there's absolutely no reason why she can't win a set or even lift the title tomorrow. And I'm not really, I haven't got a favourite. I'm not bothered who wins this one. I think it would be brilliant for Kenin to win. I think she'd be a deserved winner if she could get past a rampant Muguruza. But also Muguruza, for the couple of years she's had off court, she's had trouble with trainers, trouble with form and fitness and confidence. I think it'd be nice to see Muguruza back in the winners' enclosure and picking up Grand Slam titles again, that she should have been doing all her career, because she's obviously good enough. I think it'll be a top final. I think it'll be, I certainly wouldn't have picked this as a final coming into the tournament, but I think any final you get now in women's tennis is outstanding. I think the rise in women's tennis over the past 4 or 5 years since I've really got into it has been outstanding. I almost enjoy women's tennis as much as men's now. I don't think you really see a bad game between any women's two players. I mean, that Kenin Jabeur game was outstanding. The Coco Gauff against Osaka, I think that was a brilliant story, really changing of the guard. You had Pavlyuchenkov as being an outstanding story throughout, hitting 70 plus winners in that match against Pliskova, knocking out in straight sets. That Muguruza Halep match will go down as in the history books for me. It's one of the best matches of women's tennis I've ever seen. There's just been some incredible matches in this tournament, incredible points, and I will be bringing out a separate video after the tournament, like an awards type video. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go yet, but just talking about the best matches, best points, most improved players, wild card of the tournament, just stuff like that. So I'll be back tomorrow to review the final once the champion has been decided, and also back next week with that awards video I just mentioned. So enjoy the final. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe.